What's up, everybody? My name is Michael, or Kiratze online. Hopefully you guys are having a great day as usual, and here we have the second part to my episode 1 of decking around, and this is with our Elysian, or overwhelming Elysian deck. Now, if you haven't seen the deck building portion of this decking around episode, you can go back and look at the look at my last video, because that's what it was. Otherwise, here is a quick look at the deck list, and I'll just run through everything in sort of a general overview of the deck. We won't do, obviously, a thorough overview, just because I explained everything in my last video about what this deck is all about. But anyways, this is Overwhelming Elysian. It is an Elysian beatdown deck, something I haven't seen before. And if you guys don't know what decking around is, by the way, this is essentially just a series where I will build decks in real time on a YouTube video. So I will go over all, with my initial first draft. I won't previously make up a list and talk about it. I will hit the record button if I have a good deck idea or a fun deck idea, and then I'll build it in front of you guys, talk about all my thought process when choosing cards and, debating on what cards should go in, things like that. And then from there, we'll play some games with it and see how it runs, and then we'll have a little bit of a discussion on it. But anyways, we have 2 Copper Conduit, 2 Permafrost, 4 Friendly Wisp, 2 Lightning Storm and Lightning Strikes, 4 Storm Links, 2 Teleport, 3 Twinning, 4 Dawnwalkers, 4 False Prince, 3 Polymorphs, 2 Scorpion Wasps, 4 Wisdom of the Elders, 3 Praxis Displacers, 3 Surzo, the Great Gluttons, 2 Elysian Pathfinders, 3 Predatory Carnosaurs, 5 Primal Sigils, 9 Time Sigils, 4 Diplomatic Seals, and then the dual powers. Essentially, the idea of this deck is to have very good statted creatures for their cost, mostly aggressively statted costs for what we're paying for. Then we have a lot of ways to protect those creatures through things like Permafrost. We have Lightning Storm and Lightning Strike to deal with aggressive decks. And then we have Teleport to push for damage or to deny our opponent's turn if they do something big with a big creature. We're able to gain a lot of tempo. So that's the name of the game. So let's play a few games and see how it goes. Now, hopefully we go up against slower decks, preferably. I think mid-range probably wrecks this kind of deck the most because they have good spread of removal and threats. We wouldn't mind going up against aggro, as long as they're not getting too out of control by the time we draw our Lightning Storms. We should be in good shape. But really, this deck is aiming to curve out pretty darn well with their creatures and just pressure our opponent very heavily. So this is obviously a redraw. This is a terrible hand. Cannot play anything. We are looking for that False Prince, and we have the perfect mana to be able to do things with it. Did not pick up any of our 2-drops, sadly, so we'll play this dual power so we can get access to both of our influences. We have the Lightning Strike if we happen to get out aggroed, so it is obviously playing a ramp deck. Ooh, this is rough. So I can actually Lightning Strike this to deny him an extra mana if we want to slow him down a little bit. Ooh, he's playing maybe something similar to us. And here I'm actually going to play Dawnwalker. The reason for that is we have a False Prince. So if we want to trade this off and kill something, we'll be able to get it back with False Prince. So I can actually, if I want to, attack. We'll see if he wants to trade. No. If he doesn't want to trade, that's perfectly fine. Now I can Twinning this, and I think I might want to actually do that. Well, or I can pressure him right away. I could actually draw some cards too at the end of his turn, because next turn I could actually play Twinning and a False Prince. I think I'd rather do that. I don't think we're gonna find many times later on in the game to actually draw our cards. That is perfectly fine. That's a lot of card draw. Now I can actually False Prince. We'll see if he wants to trade here. No? That is perfectly fine with me. So I can Twinning this still. I think we'll do that. Actually, no. We'll get our threats out. We want to be able to pressure. If he is going to attack with that, we'll just Lightning Strike it. If he wants to... If he doesn't do anything, then we'll just Storm Links at the end. I have too much card draw, though. This is a little clunky. We want a lot of tempo. Well, that's a little annoying. Want to be able to keep up on the board there. Perfect. We're going to actually twinning this. Because this now actually triggers this. If he wants a double block, that is perfectly fine with me. All right. Now in that case, I think we'll just play... Actually, no. I think we just get both of our Dawnwalkers out there. He's going to have to start blocking. Now again, if he wants a double block, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm fine with trading this off. There we go. Dawnwalkers are pretty sweet, and this is essentially what the deck wants to do. Get some good value trades off when we can, because we are fine trading a lot of stuff off because we're able to get a lot of it back with... we're able to get Dawnwalkers and stuff back. And with twinning, ideally I would have liked to twin False Prince, but this is actually working out really, really well. Because ideally you want to just keep a lot of different threats up. Really wish I had another mana. Now I can Wisdom of the Elders to try find another mana for Surzo. And that should be fine. So I can attack with all my Dawnwalkers here. Now if I don't draw a mana, that's going to be a little bit problematic. He's going to have to block this, otherwise he's dead. And we're just going to get all this stuff back. It is a very big gamble if I don't happen to get my mana. We're just going to play it a little safe, I think, and just make a 7/7. It still gets all of our Dawnwalkers back. And I really don't want to gamble on not being able to draw that mana. Like, he's not able to kill me in one swing. And he's not even anywhere near 8 power yet, so his Xenon Obelisk isn't really going to be active. It's weird that he's stumbling on mana, it seems like, almost, because he's playing a monocolor deck. So this is beautiful. This is why I love Dawnwalkers. It's absolutely insane. So here I'm actually going to Wisdom of the Elders because we're going to play Surzo anyways. And if I happen to draw Lightning Storm, that's actually really good for us. Who's blocking me anyways? Okay, well, we obviously want to kill the big guy first. And this is the beauty of our creatures as well, is that we actually have Overwhelm on probably 80% of our creatures. I don't know that exact math, but this is insane. I love this. Pretty much all of our creatures have Overwhelm, so it's really tough to trump block us when we're actually in this kind of board state. So this is exactly what we want. We're overwhelming our opponent with a bunch of pressure, and that's exactly how the game should have played out for us. It's really, really good if our opponent doesn't happen to silence our... Ooh, did we get up to a diamond? No. I've gotten a silver up to a diamond before. Yeah, if those Dawnwalkers did some really solid work. I was actually pretty impressed. I never played with Dawnwalker before this, so I'm really glad I get to experience it now. If we had a False Prince, this would be great. This also is terrible because we have no time sigils. Now, we are on the draw. So we have one extra draw to be able to get a time sigil, which we really, really need. A time sigil into a False Prince would go great, because then we can Friendly Wisp into False Prince and draw 2 cards. Well, we're probably going to lose this game just due to getting screwed over with sigils. Sort of sucks. But, you know, it happens. That's what happens sometimes. This is rough. We have definitely a lot of time influences. Like we have diplomatic seals and stuff like that, and dual lands. Like we're just too far behind at this point. He probably thinks we're a control deck. Thank goodness we have the lightning storm. Now if he countered it, that would have been really bad because we have a lot of big threats that we really don't want him to be able to do anything with. Alright. This is a little rough. So this is one of those variance games. Like, it's not even a matter that I think I built my deck wrong. It's just a matter of we just got screwed over. It happens. It's variance. No reason to get mad about these games. I mean, this is just what happens sometimes. Can't even do much. Gonna block there. At least it's blocked, so even if he does kill it at this point, just doesn't get. It's not how it works, sir. Still don't get that infiltrate trigger off him. As long as we get another time, we'll be good. Oh, thank you. You know what? This may be all right. We may be all right. Now this might seem weird. Now I can displace this. Alternatively, like there's not gonna be much stuff I'm gonna be lightning storming, I feel. Like this might be the wrong play. I could just displace it. That would deny him some tempo. I could also twin the friendly wisp, potentially draw more cards. It can still block this, so he'd still have to kill it. So this, I really want to get these triggers off. I need to draw through my deck. Okay, that's fine. I'd rather just stop that. I'm fine with taking 4 damage. Our creatures are going to end up being more powerful than his sooner or later. Okay, well, this is where things get pretty poor. Alright. Well, guess we're lightning storm. This is rough. 5, 10, 14, 15 damage next turn. I think I just have to play this and pray. I can lightning storm to kill 5 damage off, but I have no follow-up for that, which means... yeah, this is going to be able to go off, and we have a lot of big threats that we don't want him to do anything with. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we can actually win this. I think we just gotta chump this. Gotta take 10. Not gonna get our card draw. How much do these 5/5s cost? Are they 5? Yeah, they're 5 mana, so Displacer might be alright here. But yeah, we're just totally getting screwed over in terms of mana. That happens. You know, if we lightning stormed earlier, I would have been in fine shape. It's just these Direwood Beasts got a bad hold of us. So that was a misplay there. I should have just got rid of it. Oh well. It's not even a good game. I don't even know why I said good game. Those games aren't good games, and I think it's just that one's just a variance game. Like those games don't happen as much as you think. You focus on them a lot. Let's play one more to try and break even. You focus on them a lot because obviously that's no fun. No fun except for the person who's beating on your face. That sounded bad. But those games happen less frequently than people realize, I think. Like, as long as you have a pretty good foundation, I would say, like, maybe 10 to 15% of your overall games are going to be variance games like that, where you just get screwed over where you can't do anything. It happens. Ooh, so this is a very control-y hand. Obviously, if we knew what kind of deck our opponent was playing, it would be fine, but we want to have a good curve. Friendly Wisp into False Prince is like our ideal play. Now, we need another Time Sigil. If we can find another Time Sigil, this should be all right. Can slow him down. Give me a time. Give me a time. Dual power, preferably. Alternatively, give me a Friendly Wisp. And then on my next draw, give me a time. That could be another option. Okay, we're good. Let's not show him that we're blue. There's no reason to play a blue influence. Those are minor things that people should think about, I think, when they're choosing how to play power. Like, there's no reason to play your extra influence. No need to give extra info. I mean, it's probably like 1 in 100 games where that will actually matter. But I think it's good habits to get into in CCGs. Like, it's one thing I learned in Magic is the power of minor things like that can have so much influence in certain situations. Ooh. Alright, so the problem here is he's going to have quite a bit of removal. He's obviously playing Felon Control. If he's playing Felon Control, what we're going to actually do here is we're going to twin our Dawnwalker. Because in terms of creating pressure, Dawnwalker is much better. Because, sure, it can die to more removal, but we're able to get it back. So I could just polymorph that. I think even if he happens to use a piece of removal, even if he happens to use a piece of removal to kill it, and he gets one of our cards, sucks, but we might just have to polymorph whatever he brings out. I actually should have played this because it still trades and we're able to get it back, and this actually counts as a trigger for a Dawnwalker, so that's fine. Sort of expected. So False Prince actually might have been the better play there. But it's nice to have that trigger. So hopefully we draw another mana, because then we can... Okay. That's actually fine. Missing out on sigil drops is not very good. So I can twin... So I can... Again, we're not really under any pressure. That's the thing. So if we can just keep building a bunch of threats, like a bunch of Dawnwalkers is going to make his life a living hell. Now, we don't want him to be able to start screaming. So I think we twin another Dawnwalker. Again, this is the interesting thing about this deck, is like there's a lot of times where if you're not under any pressure, you just chill and you just... Not really combo, but you start just creating a lot of build-up, I guess. Because like once we start getting our Dawnwalkers out there, Feln doesn't have a lot of ways to just deal with a bunch of Dawnwalkers without us, you know, since we're able to get them back. Like obviously they're able to deal with Dawnwalkers, but it's really awkward for them. Should I force him to hold up mana to play these things again? Like, should I teleport this? No, I think I'd rather save teleport for like Umbran Reaper. Something big. We need to hit our sigil drops, so this is really, really bad that we're not hitting our sigil drops. There we go. So this trades with everything fine. And we have enough mana to teleport any big threat like Umbran Reaper or, yeah, just anything big, really. This is really good for us to be able to, now, do I care if that has Deadly and Quick Draw? Yeah. He still gets a draw card, but it does set him back a little bit. Did he get it? Was that an echo, or it looked like a special effect when he drew? I don't think it was an echo. He can replay that out. This is fine. He's way ahead on sigils. Like, again, when we're not under any pressure, it gives us some time. So if we get another time... okay. Permafrost, huh? Again, this is sort of awkward. We have, for any huge threat, Polymorph. So we're just gonna Dawnwalker here. Actually, no, we're gonna False Prince here. We get our other Dawnwalker back. Or Dawnwalkers. And it's a little harder to kill in terms of removal. So it can't get hit by Annihilate, for example. So it reduces some of his chances of being able to remove it to get his Infiltrate trigger off. Again, I mean, even if he does get the Infiltrate trigger off for this thing, it's not a huge matter. It's only it only sucks when he's actually attacking mainly. See, this is what I mean. Like, this is why Dawnwalker's amazing in a deck like this. This is the kind of deck I think that's perfect for a deck like or for a card like Dawnwalker, because we're pretty much, like, that Dawnwalker was doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. So the fact that we're able to just get it back for free means we pretty much just made him draw cards. So we're just going to use this to defend against those guys. We're going to still try to keep pressuring him. If he wants to trade stuff off, he's got to know at this point that I can just get these things back. I mean, regardless, we need to pressure him somehow. So he has Lightning Strike, maybe? I mean, if he wants to use Lightning Strike on a Dawnwalker, again, that's perfectly fine. So these are like pretty much our removal, almost, in a way. So I can just use Dawnwalker and use False Prince to defend against the Gorgons. I really want to save Permafrost. Permafrost just for any huge threat. Obviously, he's playing some sort of Infiltrate deck. So until he drops something big that I really just want to lock down. Because once we lock it down, I don't have to worry about him actually getting it into the graveyard somehow by him trading with one of our stuff and then Haunting Screaming it back. Like that, for example. And again, anything big, we'll just have to Polymorph. That's the only thing. Actually, anything big, because we'll have enough mana for Predatory Carnosaur next turn, we'll actually just kill off, because this is one of our biggest units, so we can probably just kill anything off. Okay. Now he's going to attack with all that stuff. Does he not realize how much damage is coming to his face next turn? He got the worst unit he could have. Alright. Fair enough. 5, 10, 15, 19. Actually, we're just going to double Lightning. We're going to attack double Lightning Storm. That seems fine. Problem is with this stuff, Problem is with this stuff, we can't actually Carnosaur it. It's a little bit of a problem. Hopefully it just blocks here. Because I'm going to double Lightning Storm and I don't want to kill off my False Prince. And this is perfectly fine for us because of how much pressure we'll have. Because we'll rebuild the board. It's going to take another turn, but that's all right. I mean, again, so he's probably going to get that Haunting Scream unit back. That's, again, fine. Worst case scenario, he gets Predatory Carnosaur. I think that's our worst one he could get. If he gets Dawnwalker, don't really care too much about that. If he gets False Prince, I'm perfectly fine with him doing that. We have a lot of ways to deal with that. Carnosaur is the worst one because then he can actually use it to kill False Prince. And then we'll have to be forced to polymorph it. Or I guess we could just permafrost it. Alright, that's fine. That is fine. So we can polymorph that. We can permafrost it. Darn. Wish that was a sigil, because then we could permafrost and Predatory Carnosaur. So we're obviously going to... Now I have to be sort of careful in terms of damage. Let's get all of our Dawnwalkers back. So they are exhausted, so we have to worry about that. And this is the point, I think, where we just play it safe. So let's see. That's going to die. Right? Wasn't it supposed to die at the end of his turn? Like, there's no reason for me to attack here. Haunting Scream. Sacrifice it at the end of turn. Oh, no, he used Dark Return. My bad. Was not thinking there. That's still fine. We have a lot of ways to get that stuff back. That is fine as well. We'll probably lock that down. Now he's going to have to just chill. Like, he can't risk attacking, I feel like. So I think we'll polymorph that. Permafrost that. Oh, I don't know. Are we really worried about stuff in the air? Because it sort of depends. I feel like he has a Lightning Strike or something in hand. Really? Alright, well, we're going to start by drawing, because we may end up drawing something to get all our Dawnwalkers back. Sigil. Well, that sucks. Alright, so if I permafrost that, polymorph that, he has to chump here. Now I really have to worry about him getting something back. So if I do that and attack with both, my guys are both exhausted. He can attack with this. If he Haunting Screams my False Prince back that's in his graveyard, only taking 7 still. Should have just done this. Maybe I should have just done this. That probably was a mistake. I mean, he can just use the frog to jump. Jump here. Okay, so he's not going to risk it. That's fine. I was hoping he would just do that, because then it's almost like removal. So, let's see. Of course he drew the Haunting. Or is that... Did he have that in hand, or did he draw it? Yeah, so we take 5 here. We only killed off 1 false prince, right? Okay, that's fine. There we go. Yeah, because I only had 1 false prince. So I was fine with that, because there's not many ways that you can really burn against or as Scream. You can't. There's not really many ways you can burn. Wow, and we blank drew, so that's a good thing. Which was a little bit of a risk. Obviously, he had, he might have some trickery up his sleeve, like a rapid shot or something. But at the same time, with the amount of cards he had and what I've seen, that's, I don't know. It didn't go so badly. Did not go so badly, but we won 2 out of our 3 games, and it went against that last one, which was actually a solidified deck. Haunting Scream is a deck people run on the ladder. So I like this deck. This deck turned out the Dawnwalkers. Oh my god, those did some work. So Dawnwalker, I actually didn't expect to be sort of the key portion to this deck. I actually sort of saw False Prince as being the main card I wanted to build around, but it actually worked out that Dawnwalker worked extremely well. Being able to utilize twinning to create pressure, I think that's really strong, to be able to have sort of that adaptability. And that's what I think I like about this deck, is because we have the tools against aggro to slow the game down. I think I might even add more aggro denying cards. I actually feel like I don't need 4 copies of Wisdom of the Elder. I might cut 1 and maybe put in another, either a Lightning Strike or a Lightning Storm. Because if our deck gets enough time, we can just do stuff like keep twinning Dawnwalker. And then you just have a board of infinite pressure, essentially, with how much power our deck has. And we have Elysian Pathfinder, so we can have some fun things with that. So if we have Elysian Pathfinder, we might even want to experiment with Avasor, Elysian Avasor, because that way we can make sure we have certain units get Echo. That's obviously a little slower, so I think if that were the case and we were building around a combo like that, I think we would have to put in more controlling cards to make it more of a control game, like cut out the Copper Conduits, for example. Copper Conduits we didn't really see much of, but we only saw it when our opponent played it off of his Infiltrate creature. But I still like Copper Conduit, I think. I think it still works out really, really well to be, whatever you want it to be at that time. It can still be a 4/4 creature with Overwhelm. And, the Overwhelm factor of our deck actually worked out really well in that first game, I believe. Or second game, I can't remember, but we were pressuring our opponent with Dawnwalkers, and they were trying to chump block. It actually does make a lot of difference, because every single point of damage counts in a deck like this, when normally they're able to chump block, because we don't have a lot of burn, right? So if our creatures are, exactly dealt with the right answers, and we have no way to bring them back, that can be a little bit of a problem for us. But I liked what I saw. I like the amount of cards I had. Obviously, I think the Wisdom of Elders could be adjusted a little bit. I think in faster decks where we throw stuff on curve, even still, if we throw things out on curve, we're not going to be running out of too many cards. So I might even experiment with just Friendly Wisp being our main source of card draw. Maybe 1 or 2 copies of Wisdom of the Elders, but I think I would rather add more utility cards. I'm not sure about the teleports. Teleports did have some uses. I think more often than not, it's going to be a little bit of a dead draw. So Teleport, I think, is a little bit of a reactive card. You can play it proactively, but I think if that were the case, I would rather just have something more efficient, like Permafrost, for example. But yeah, those were some great games. The second game, we really only lost due to it being a variance game and just us losing because we didn't draw any of our sigils. But we had a pretty good hand in that game anyways. But I like this deck. I might use this to try and keep climbing. Obviously, again, the whole purpose of this series is to just mainly have a rough first draft that you guys get to experience as I build it and play it for the first few games, and then we can have a little bit of a discussion on it. So let me know what you guys would change about this deck. Let me know some good cards that you would add. Obviously, if I had the Shift Stones, I would craft some Sandstorm Titans. That card fits perfectly in a deck like this. Not only is it more friendly Wisp triggers, Dawnwalker triggers, but it's just a freaking amazing card. And really, the cards that we have that are flying, they're not really relevant. The flying's not the relevant part. It's really the Deadly Ambush here, and it's the card draw for friendly Wisp. So it would be a great way to combat anything that has to be in the air, because we have a lot of beefy creatures. So if we can keep them grounded, creatures like Surzo can do a lot of work. Alternatively, I think I would actually add more removal type cards. Predator's Instinct is a card that I think that I would add in here, because there were a lot of times where we just wanted to be a little more proactive, and I think that's what I would actually replace Teleport with, I think, because rather than trying to put tempo, we can just keep being proactive and push more damage through by using Predator's Instinct. You know, being able to play like a creature and then giving it killer, especially it works great with Surzo. So yeah, I think killer would be Predator's Instinct would be a good addition. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's gonna do it. I think this video has been long enough, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you guys would change, and hopefully it sparked some thought for your guys' own decks to take on the ladder. Because yeah, this deck was a lot of fun. I haven't seen anything like it before on the ladder for myself, and I think it actually played out better than I expected, to be honest. When it curves out well, it has a lot of fun synergies between twinning and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of fun things you can build upon on this deck. So let me know what you guys think. I will be back with another deck idea in the future. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night, day, or morning, wherever you are. And thank you for watching.